These people who are forever prattling about evolution are stuck in the 19th century. They are little Darwins. They are riding on big turtles from the Terra del Fuego or something. And you know how fast you move on a turtle. You're not moving very fast. Perhaps evolution is another deceptive image foisted on us by the Matrix. And you've got to give that some thought. Certainly, trusting evolution is no substitute for waking up. Just sitting there and saying, things are evolving, something better, we are all evolving, and that can be an excuse for not waking up, And I think it has been, and it often is. So one has to wake up. All right? So you take the red pill and you wake up. Then what? Then begins the struggle, really, the ongoing battle. And here may be something that you may have wondered about, or you will continue to wonder about, because I probably won't be able to dispel your wondering about it, is why is there so, pardon me, damn much violence in it? Well, the one thing is that all of our films are filled with violence. And if the creators of this film had not put a lot of violence into it, people wouldn't go and see it. So there you are. That's certainly one practical reason. But there is another one, and that may offend some of your pacifistic sensibilities and so forth. But let's admit it. In order to cut through the Matrix, there has to be a kind of martial engagement of one's spirit. Now, he doesn't have to use rockets. He doesn't have to use airplanes. He doesn't have to use aircraft carriers. That's all in a different realm. That's in the realm of the outer, of the world, And that stuff goes on in some way or the other. And, war is not the answer, and pacifism is not the answer. Even the great Gerald Heard, I think now it can be disclosed, who I think was one of the greatest pacifists whom I have known, prior to his death, in the presence of a very good friend of mine who was a very close friend of Gerald Heard, said, he said, and he couldn't talk anymore. I don't think he wrote it or something, or he had a stroke. And he said, pacifism is not the answer. Spirit is the answer. You see. But regarding these matters, there at some point or the other, there has to be a very powerful exertion of the spirit against the opposition coming from the Matrix. In these realms, this is the kind of enemy whom you cannot go up to and shake hands with. Agent Smith, So there is a certain kind of spiritual validity to the violence in the movie. Because in many ways, this, not totally and not on all levels and not all the time, but this is a violent task. It's a violent encounter. Look at Buddhism, which is the most pacific of all religions, and look at the wrathful deities, great big swords, huge knives, and they are dancing on skeletons and drinking from skulls, and all kinds of things, off-putting symbology. And even the Buddhas like Manjushri with a great big sword, and the Buddhists will tell you they are battling illusion. They are cutting their way and your way through with the swords, through through the web of illusion and things of that sort. So that needs to be recognized probably as an important element. Heaven is taken by storm, perhaps hell is defeated by a storm, or the storm of violence sometimes also. And in any event, let us hope so. But I do think that there is a significant, possibly a significant cultural development here. I think the great medium of reality altering, the motion picture, has now found its way through to a particular complex, ancient and yet timeless, and I think very important and indeed accurate view of reality and of the task of how to work our way through to the authentic reality. Ultimately, this is kind of really what it is all about. And the revelation comes to us through all kinds of instrumentalities. In this case, it comes to us through the motion picture screen. I think in the 1960s, for instance, and the 60s were the 70s, it came through us by other means. I think that when I'll put it right on the line, I don't care what anybody thinks about it, I think that the psychedelic revolution tried to be and to be the red pill. The analogy is too close, maybe too close for comfort, but it went awry for a lot of people. Didn't go awry for everybody. There were some people who woke up at that time. I know many of them. So it certainly cannot be denied. But whether through this avenue or that avenue, the voice keeps coming through. Wake up, wake up. If you don't wake up, you are in big trouble, and nothing really is going to happen. You need to wake up. So here is a new wake-up call. Abraxas, the rooster-headed mythological figure of the old Gnostics, is standing there once again, at this time sort of on the edge of the motion picture screen. And he cries out, wake up, light, light, boundless light. And we should listen. And not only listen, but perhaps do something about it. And if we do, things might become very, very different. And we won't have to worry about the one world, about this conspiracy and that conspiracy, because we have contributed our share to the undoing, to the one great conspiracy, which is the conspiracy against consciousness, the conspiracy against spiritual freedom, the conspiracy of knowing what really is. If we do that, everything will be all right. So maybe we ought to listen to the Matrix a bit. And with that, I think I'll conclude my ruminations, and thank you.